Sippin' Red. In Love with a Christmas Ghost. Prologue. Emma. The morning began like any other in Snowfall Springs. The scent of fresh coffee and waffles floated through the air as I unlocked the door to our family coffee shop, Coffee Corner. The little bell tolled cheerfully, announcing the start of another day in the heart of our snow-covered town. In some way, I was attached to the shop. I grew up here and learned the magic of good coffee and the joys of life. Coffee Corner was my idea. I loved this place. "Morning, sweetheart," Grandma called from behind the counter, her eyes crinkling into a smile. She had already started baking the first batch of our famous Christmas cookies, which everyone in town eagerly awaited. "Morning, Grandma," I replied, removing my coat and hanging it on the rack by the door. The soft buzz of Christmas music played in the background, mingling with the steady hum of conversation and the hiss of the espresso machine. The holiday season was in full swing, and the shop was decked out in twinkling lights, garlands, and ornaments. I went to the back, tying on my apron as I went. Grandpa was mixing a bowl of cookie dough with the same meticulous care he'd shown for years. His hands, though weathered, moved with practiced ease. "Need any help, Grandpa?" I asked, rolling up my sleeves. He looked up, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "Just don't eat all the cookie dough this time, Em. We've got orders to fill." I laughed at his remark. "Scout's honor, Gramps." As I began rolling out the dough, I thought about how much I loved this time of year. The shop was always busy, filled with laughter and the clinking of mugs. The decorations, the music, and the sense of community were all magical. As I placed the first batch of cookies in the oven, the bell above the door chimed again, and a young man walked in. I glanced up, my heart doing a little flip. He was tall, with eyes that lit up the room. He looked around, taking in the festive decorations and the cozy atmosphere, before going to the counter. "Hi there," he said, resting on his left leg as he leaned against the counter. "I'm considering moving to town and thought I'd check out the local spots. Forgive me, I'm Adam." "Welcome to Snowfall Springs, Adam," Grandma said, her smile never wavering. "I'm sure you'll love it here." The gentleman nodded. "Yes, I think so too. What can I get you?" asked my grandmother. He ordered a black coffee and a slice of our homemade pumpkin pie. As Grandma prepared his order, I stepped out from behind the counter to look at him. On second thought, I stopped. What am I doing? "Can you pick up some supplies? We've got orders to fill, and it's going to be a busy weekend," Grandma said, looking over the list in her hand. "Sure," I replied, wiping my hands on my apron. "I'm through with this batch anyway." She handed me the paper, and I removed my apron. I took off the apron and dusted my clothes. In the recess of my mind, I vaguely recalled Grandma handing over a slice of pie to the man and him expressing his gratitude. I grabbed the car keys and headed towards the door, only to smack into what felt like a brick wall. "Oh," I grunted. Firm hands held the small of my back to keep me from falling. "Are you okay?" Adam's deep baritone voice asked. My body vibrated from the unexpected contact. The closeness made my heart race. Deep brown eyes gazed into mine, slowly melting my heart. My body burned from every point he touched mine. It was like being held in a trance, with the heat slowly pulling you further in. I looked away, breaking the spell. Yes, thank you." "Sure?" he asked, his eyes doing a quick sweep. Only then did he release me. I hurried along, too shaken to look back. My cheeks were flushed from the encounter. Pulling my coat and scarf tighter as the winter air's chill blew, I sighed. My mind was still reeling from the brief but electrifying encounter. Snowfall Springs was a picture-perfect winter wonderland. The streets were lined with snow-dusted trees, and carolers drifted through the air. As I walked to my car, I sighed in contentment. Life was good. I drove through town, humming along to the Christmas music on the radio. The sky was a clear, icy blue, and the snow sparkled in the afternoon sunlight. I went to the local grocery store, picking up flour, sugar, and other baking essentials. As I was leaving the store, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Grandma texted to ask if I could pick up some extra wrapping paper for the holiday gift baskets we were putting together for our customers. I smiled and texted back that I would. I drove to the little shop along my route that sold all sorts of festive decorations. As I parked and went inside, the season's excitement was all over the place. The shop was filled with twinkling lights, ornaments, and wrapping paper in every color and pattern imaginable. I picked out a few rolls of red and gold paper, ribbons, and bows. When I left the shop, my arms were packed with shopping bags. I made my way back to the car, carefully placing the bags of supplies in the back seat. Pulling out of the parking lot and heading toward home, I hummed along to the old soulful songs blasting out of the radio. I was lost in these thoughts when I reached the intersection at Maple and Pine. The light turned green and I started to drive forward. Out of nowhere, another car came speeding through the red light. There was a blinding flash of headlights, the screech of brakes, and then a loud crash. The impact threw me forward, the seatbelt cutting into my chest. Pain exploded through my body, and everything went dark.
Enjoy the experience of a romance novel and a tasty cup of coffee. Follow the links